I give you another method of finding the value of a, b, and c by equating the coefficients. See that I had taken this as a by x plus b by x plus 3 plus c by x minus 2, right? Now I had cross multiplied,
Yes, sir.
and after cross multiplication I had got this as a into x plus 3 into x minus 2 plus b x into x minus 2.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Plus cx into x plus 3. This is what I had got. And now after this, what I had done in the previous method, I had taken various values of x to get the values of a, b, and c. But this time what I'll do is I'll not take various values of x. What I'll do is I will, on the right hand side, I will multiply everything. See that if you multiply this, you will get x square plus x minus 6. If you multiply this, you get x square minus 2x. And if you multiply this, you get x square plus 3x, right? Now what you do here is you take
Yes,
the
sir.
coefficients of x squared together. What are the coefficients of x squared? A plus b plus c, right? Isn't it? X square.
Yes,
Can we
sir.
write it this way? Or should I have to do one more step for you? Is this okay with you, or should I
You
do
can
one more
write
step?
that way.
Okay. And the
No, sir,
coefficient
it's
of
okay.
x will be a minus 2b plus 3c. And the coefficient of the constant, in fact, not coefficient, the constant term would be 6a1. So what you see is that I have separated the coefficient of x square, x, and the constant term. Now what you do, what you see here is you have the coefficient 1 here. You equate the coefficients. So a plus b plus c must be equal to 1. So therefore, a plus b plus c, or let me write here, equating the coefficients of like terms on both sides. Equating the coefficients of like terms on both sides. We get a plus b plus c is equal to 1 because the coefficient of x square is 1. What is the coefficient of x? It is also 1. So you get a minus 2b plus 3c, and the coefficient of x here is 1, which is 1. And what else? The last one is minus 6a1 must be equal to, not a1, sorry, minus 6a. This is a. Minus 6a is equal to minus 1, isn't it? So we get three equations in a, b, and c,
Yes, sir.
right? So we solve these three equations to get the values of a, b, and c. So from 3, what do you get? From 3, you get a is equal to 1 by 6, isn't it? Putting a is equal to 1 by 6 in 1. What do you get? 1 by 6 plus b plus c is equal to 1. That means b plus c is equal to 1 minus 1 by 6, which is 5 by 6. Call it equation number 4. Putting a is equal to 1 by 6 in 2. What do you get? 1 by 6 minus 2b plus 3c is equal to 1. right? So that means you get minus 2b
Yeah.
plus 3c minus 2b plus 3c is equal to, again, 1 by 1 minus 1 by 6, which is 5 by 6. Call this equation number 5. Now these two are again simultaneous equations, isn't it? So solving
Yeah.
4 and 6, 4 and 5, we get how to solve these two? By elimination method. Multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 1.
Mhm.
So what do you get? 2b plus 2c is equal to 5 by 3. If you multiply first equation number 4 by 2, and here you have minus 2b plus 3c is equal to 5 by 6. So now what you do? In order to cancel out b, you add the two equations. Adding. This gets cancelled. So what do you get? 5c is equal to 5 by 3 plus 5 by 6, right? So that here the value of c you will get as half. Okay. Now how do you get the value of b? Put it in, put c is equal to half in 4. Putting c equal to half in 4, we get b plus half is equal to 5 by 6. That means b is equal to 5 by 6 minus half, right? So you get this as 1/3. So have I got the values of a, b and c? A I have got as 1 by 6, b I have got as 1 by 3, and c I have got as half. Now you simply put the values here,
1/2.
isn't it? You simply put the values here and then you integrate as we have done here. Understood? Now why have I shown you both the methods? I have shown you both the
Yes,
methods
sir.
because in actual problems, sometimes method 1 does not work fully, completely. So for some values of the constants, you will have to use method 1, and for the other values, you will have to use method 2. Okay, so let me give you one example here in which we shall use a mix of both the methods. Okay, a new problem. All these problems are important. If you do these problems, partial fraction will be absolutely clear. Nothing you will have to do. The question is, evaluate integral x square by x plus 1 whole square into x plus 2 dx. Okay, now what do you see in the denominator? What do you have? In the denominator, what do you have?
Uh, X.
You have a repeated factor, right? X plus 1 whole square. X plus 1 whole
Yes,
square
sir.
means x plus 1 into x plus 1, right? So in such a
Yes, sir.
case, if you want to resolve such a fraction into partial fractions, what I do is I say let x square by x plus 1 whole square into x plus 2 is equal to, now see, this x plus 1 is a repeated factor. So for this repeated factor, I will put a by x plus 1 first, right? Next, what I'll do is I'll put a b by x plus 1 whole square. Understood? So for only for this x plus 1 whole square factor, you have these two partial fractions, right? And for the third factor, you put c by
Yes,
x
sir.
plus 2. Okay, because this is again a power 1. So you have only a single constant. Now you cross multiply. If you cross multiply, you will get a into, I'm doing directly. So, okay, so this is a into x plus 1 into x plus 2 plus b into, if you multiply these two, x plus 1 whole square into x plus 2, you have x plus 1 whole square in the denominator, you simply get x plus 2 here, right? And here you will get x plus 1 whole square, right? Now I'll have to find out the values of a, b, and c. Now
Yes,
see
sir.
that if I want to get the value of a, that means b and c must vanish, isn't it? But is there any common factor between b and c, between these two terms? Is there any common factor? You see x plus 2 here.
No, sir.
There is x plus 1 whole square here. That means you cannot find the value of a by putting values of x. Let's now try to find out the value of b. In order to find out the value of b, you have to make this vanish and you have to make this vanish, right? So is there any common factor between these two? Yes, there is a common factor, which is
Yes, sir.
x
X
plus
plus
1.
1.
Okay, so what you do here is you put x plus 1 is equal to 0. That is, you put x is equal to 1, minus 1. Therefore, what do you get? Minus 1 whole square is equal to, this one becomes 0. This one becomes 0. So you only get b times minus 1 plus 2. So what do you get? You get 1 is equal to b. That means you are getting b is equal to 1. Right? So you got the value of b. Now we want to get the value of c. In order for c to get the value of c, this must vanish and this must vanish. Are there any common factors between these two terms? Yes, there is a common factor, which is x plus 2, right?
No. Yes.
X plus 2 is a common
Yes,
factor.
sir.
Check. So putting x plus 2 is equal to 0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is, x is equal to minus 2. What do you get? Minus 2 square is equal to, now these two will vanish. A and b terms will vanish. You only get c times minus 2 plus 1 whole square. Means 4 is equal to c. That means you're getting c is equal to 4, right? Now you have got the value of b and c. What about a? Now, because there is no common factor between b and c, you cannot use this method to get the value of a, as I told you earlier. So therefore, what you do is, suppose I call
Yes.
this 1. Okay, now in 1, you will put the value of b and c. We'll use the second method to get the value of a. So from 1, what do we get? X square is equal to a times x plus 1 into x plus 2. You put the value of b. B is 1, so this will be simply x plus 2. And c is 4, so you put the value 4. Okay, now that means now x square, and you multiply everything, you get a x square plus 3x plus 2 plus x plus 2 plus, now if you expand this, you get 4x square plus 8x plus 4, right? That means now you take the coefficient of x squared together. Isn't this what we were doing in the second method? We are taking the coefficient of x squares together and the coefficient of x together and the constant term together. So you get 4 plus a x square plus 3a plus 9 x plus 2a plus 6. Isn't this what we were doing in the second method? Yes, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Now, in order to get the value of a, what
Yes,
we'll do
sir.
is we'll equate the coefficient of like terms on both sides. On both sides, we get, let us say we equate the coefficient of a square. So we get 4 plus a is equal to 1. You can equate the coefficient of x also. Suppose if you equate the coefficient of x, what will you get? Do you see any coefficient of x here? On the left hand side, any coefficient of x do you see? You don't see. So therefore, what you see only an x square. So you can write this as 0 into x. You can write this as x square plus 0 into x plus 0, isn't it? X square plus 0 into x plus 0, right? So now the coefficient of x becomes 3a plus 9, isn't it? So what you can do is you can either take 4 plus a is
Yes,
equal
sir.
to 1, or you can take 3a plus 9 is equal to 0, Or you can also take 2a plus 6 is equal to 0. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That means you get a is equal to 1 minus
Yes.
4, which is minus 3. So therefore, what is the sum become? What is our partial fraction? Therefore, integration, not integration. Let me first write the partial fraction. Therefore, x square divided by x plus 1 whole square into x plus 2 is equal to, we had taken a by x plus 1 first, right? So what is the value of a? Minus 3. So minus 3 by x plus 1. And then we had taken what? B by x plus 1 whole square. What is the value of b we have found? We have found the value of b to be 1. We put it here, plus 1 by x plus 1 whole square. And what had we taken the value of, what is the value of c that we have found? 4. And we had taken c by x plus 2, isn't it? This is what we had taken, if you remember, initially. Had we taken this or not? Or you want to see? Should I scroll up?
Yes, we have.
Do you remember this I had taken? This one here. You see, I had taken this way. I have simply put the values of a, b, and c here in this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now
Okay, sir.
that means integration of x square by x plus 1 whole square into x plus 2 dx is equal to minus 3 integration dx by x plus 1, isn't it? Plus
Yes,
integration
sir.
dx by x plus 1 whole square plus 4 times integration of dx by x plus 2, right? What is the integration of dx by x plus 1? It is log x plus 1 divided by a derivative of x plus 1, which is x. What is the integration of x dx by x
X.
plus 1 whole square? It is x plus 1 to the power of minus 2 plus 1. Use n x to the power of, use that one, and uh, mm, x to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1. You remember this integration? Yes? Tell me, do you remember or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is
Yes, sir. You
minus thrice log x plus 1 and minus 2 plus 1. Here you will get a minus sign, and you will get x plus 1 to the power of minus 2 plus 1 is x plus 1 to the power of minus 1, which will become 1 by x plus 1 plus 4 log x plus 2 plus c. And that is your answer. You understood this problem? Or any questions you have? Problem 3. Evaluate integral x by x minus 1 into x square plus 4 dx. You see that in the denominator, what factors you have? In the denominator, you have one factor of the form, one factor x minus 1 is of the form ax plus b, right? Which is a linear factor, isn't it? And one factor, one quadratic factor you have, one quadratic factor x square plus 4, which is of what form? Tell me, which is of what form? Ax square plus bx plus c, isn't it? Right? Isn't this ax square plus bx plus c form?
Yes, sir.
Now see, can you factorize x plus 4 into linear factors? Can you factorize x plus 4 into linear factors? Tell me.
No, sir.
You cannot factorize x plus 4. If you could factorize x plus 4, then it would have become very easy, just like the previous problems, right? But since you are not able to factorize x plus x square plus 4, what you'll do here is you will take let x by x minus 1 into x square plus 4 be equal to, for the linear factor, you will take a constant a by x minus 1. Clear? Look at this very carefully, okay? For this quadratic
Okay, sir.
factor, you will take a factor of this form, bx plus c, in the numerator. Remember, for any quadratic factor in the denominator, you will take a factor of the form bx plus c. Understood? For linear factor, you will take constant, just like I have taken here, a by x minus 1. For the quadratic factor that you have here, you will take a linear factor in the numerator, bx plus c. Please remember, just as you remember taking constant for linear factors in the numerator, here you will take a linear factor in the numerator because in the denominator you have a quadratic factor. Is that absolutely clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once it is clear, we will proceed exactly as we had proceeded in the previous sums to find out the values of A, B, and C. So I'll just do one more step and leave it here for the time being. And I will announce an extra class either today or tomorrow. Okay. Is that clear?
But tomorrow we have extra class from 6 of English.
English. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you cross multiply, will you get this or not? If you cross multiply, will you get this? Or should I do one more step? Tell me.
No.
Should I do one more step?
Hello.
Yes, should I do one more step? I cannot hear you.
I also cannot hear you.
Should I do one more step? Something wrong is with your headphone, Amir.
Yes, sir.
Something is wrong with your headphone.
Yes, sir.
Get rid of your headphone.
Okay, sir.
I'm doing one more step then.
Okay, sir.
And these two cancel off. So you get x is equal to a times x square plus 4 plus bx plus c into x square plus 4. Sorry, x square x minus 1, because x square plus 4 cancels. Here these two cancel. Okay. So now we can find out the value of a, b, and c. I'll stop here. Next class I will finish this sum.